everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the First and Last Podcast. It's your favorite podcast about TV and stuff. My name is Josh.
We added a "the" in the beginning?
I did just now. You know, it's I don't have Justin Timberlake to tell us to not to drop the Facebook.
We did the opposite. We made it more messy.
No, I feel like it's like rock and roll. Like every good it's like it's the Strokes,
The
you know?
AC/DC, the Black Sabbath.
Or we could be first and the lasts.
Yeah. With me is Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jimmy.
What's up?
Jimmy on the keys.
The Black Keys
is
another band.
That one actually works, yeah.
I'm just playing the black ones. That wasn't a racist thing.
All of our
that
songs.
I know of.
All of our songs are just in F sharp.
Ooh.
Solid. Well, Joe, how does First and Last work for anybody? No chit chat today.
We're getting right to
Back
it.
into business.
Quit screwing around.
Welcome to a very, very special episode of First and Last. We take a TV show, one per week, and we dive into just the first episode. Watch that all the way through, give our reviews of it, and then we make some predictions because we're skipping right to the finale.
That's right.
And then we watch the finale.
Of the series.
I almost said amen.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Do
you?
Yeah. So we just review the show based on just the first and the last and see nothing in between. For a lot of shows,
Judge it harshly.
We really have seen like none of it, so we really are only watching the first and last.
I believe this week we've seen some of it.
Okay.
All of us at some
interesting.
point. But this week marks...
Is it Seinfeld?
It is not. We've done
Because
Seinfeld.
you're wearing a Costanza shirt. We have not done Seinfeld.
Really?
We have.
Yes, we
I'm
have.
pretty sure we have not.
I'm pretty sure we have.
I feel like we have.
I don't think it's on the spreadsheet.
Well, maybe you forgot to put it on the spreadsheet. Jimmy made a spreadsheet.
I'll look. You
about
talk. You talk amongst yourself.
But this week marks the first week of our 4-week return of summer camp. First and last summer camp. What does that mean? Let's find out together.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that me again? Because I didn't study for this.
Yeah, Joe. Sorry. I mean, we did.
Yeah,
summer
we did
camp,
do Seinfeld.
Maybe like 2 summers ago now. I think we skipped last summer. We didn't do.
Did we? There was no summer
There's
last
no
year.
Summer camp
Did we just
least.
do it once, or
We've
did we
only
do
done it
a couple?
once.
Okay.
So,
Really?
Yeah. So basically, we're gonna go back to shows that we enjoyed as children, and put some gas in the nostalgia machine.
What have we? Do you know what we've done before? I feel like
We
that's when we
definitely
did X-Men, the animated.
Alex Mack.
Oh yes.
X-Men, Alex Mack, and then I think Beast Wars.
Beast Wars was that's the one I picked.
Nice.
We're doing Beast Wars again today.
Beast Wars 2.
Actually, man, if I would have prepared better, we could have done Beast Machines, which is the sequel to Beast Wars.
There is okay.
It flows right in.
Oh god.
It's literally like the next day. It's like Beast Machines. But we're not doing that. And then we will
Gotta sell those toys.
So 4 weeks, all 3 of us have a show, and then we will finish off with a special Power Rangers. Whatever
Morphin.
one is next is the special one I'm talking about.
It's Kid Month.
Kid Month.
Probably some kind of Dino Turbo Science Machine Ranger.
That sounds fun.
Are we keeping all these next 4 weeks? Are we keeping them PG?
What does that mean? Like no fucks and shits, or
Yeah, like or at least bleep those
Wow.
out. Starting next week, no more fucks
No
and shits.
Or
it's starting now.
Yeah, starting now.
Oh, okay.
Starting this moment.
Now it's officially Kids
Hey
Month.
parents, you can officially let your kids in the room.
Couple minutes in, kids can come in. You think it'll be disingenuous when I'm like, this one is like clean and not explicit like I do all the other ones, even though I said those bad words just a minute ago.
Maybe we'll save the bad words for like the 3rd segment after you put the kids to bed.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hey,
I like that.
Hey, parents.
Except for this pod comes out in the morning.
Put your kids to
there's
bed
nap
at
time.
11 in the morning on a Wednesday, Central Time. Okay, well, I picked my show, and I'm gonna tell you guys what show that is right now. Spider-Man.
Oh, hells yeah. Which Spider-Man? There's so many.
The one we would have watched growing up. The Spider-Man, I think it's just called Marvel Spider-Man.
The like Fox.
Ran 1994 to 1997.
Nice.
5 seasons.
Wow, 5.
I do remember liking this show a lot. You know,
yeah.
kind of up there with the X-Men show around the same era. And I did have a lot of Spider-Man toys too.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? I had a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same.
And I had some Spider-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Legos, and Z-Bots.
Mm.
Remember Z-Bots?
Oh, I
don't.
loved Z-Bots.
I don't know what a Z-Bot is.
Maybe it was a Minnesota thing.
Maybe, yeah. They were only in Minnesota.
Okay.
That's not true. But I had those. But
Is this probably on? It's probably on the Disney because it's Marvel now.
yeah, it's on Disney Plus. It ran 5 seasons,
Ooh.
65 episodes, went from 1994 to 1997.
Okay.
Technically, January 31st of 1998. It rolled into 98 a little bit.
Okay.
But
Because
it's generally considered animated Spider-Man 94, 97. Is kind of think what the colloquialism. Didn't say
interesting.
that word right.
I was thinking about this show recently because I was scrolling through. So Disney Plus's Loki started recently.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I saw that when I checked to make sure that the show was
Sure.
on Disney Plus.
Sure, and like super excited about it. Like Owen Wilson's in it. He's just a character.
Owen Wilson?
Yeah, I just feel like it's going to be a Wes Anderson Marvel show. Maybe
Interesting.
that's not true, but that's just what Owen Wilson makes
But
me
if
think
it
of.
is, I'm game.
Yeah.
Right? But so I happened to like scroll through the like animated Marvel section, and there's so many iterations of animated Spider-Man because there's
Yeah,
like
Really?
1981 animated Spider-Man, like the Orig.
Yeah.
And there's like the Super Friends that has him and like Iceman and like a fire flying gal that I can't think of.
Starfire.
I don't even know these other Spider-Man
that sounds
shows.
right. That sounds right. And then there's like Spider-Man Unlimited and stuff since the 90s Spider-Man. That's probably got some more like CG animation going on. I'm excited. When I think of this Spider-Man, I think of that X-Men run that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were pretty near the same time.
I think they were both Fox.
X-Men
Yeah.
animated
Mm-hmm.
after school.
Probably the same exact animators.
Yeah, this is I remember watching this because it was 94, so I would have been 9, 10, pretty much when I probably caught on to this.
Mm-hmm.
Prime kid superhero, and Spider-Man is 100% my favorite superhero.
Oh, nice.
Along with
a good
probably
one.
so many other people.
He's a good one.
Yeah,
Spider-Man is probably the best.
he's probably the best, right?
He's got
And-
science. He's got a girlfriend.
He's got a lot of depth. He's got real
Got a girlfriend
problems.
named after weed.
He's got great power, and along with that, also great responsibility.
Yeah.
That does tend to come with that.
What was I watching? I was watching a different superhero show, and someone said like, with great power, and they were like, comes great responsibility, and the guy was like, fuck no, or something like that. Like they were.
Was it like The Boys on
No, it wasn't
Amazon
The
or
Boys.
something?
It might have been. I watched Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix, the season 1, which
interesting.
I thought was pretty good, and then it got canceled
okay,
maybe a week after I finished it. I was like, oh,
Oh, bummer.
I was ready to watch that.
Well, we should first and last it. Have you guys read any of the Spider-Man comics?
No.
A couple, but literally a couple comics, but not like a series of comics.
Yeah.
By any means. Yeah.
I feel like no other. I recently, maybe a few years ago, read the first year or two of Spider-Man just straight through, and no other comic that I've ever read hit the ground running so hard as Spider-Man. He was a character I think once in one of the early 60s Stranger Tales or whatever weird ones.
Mm-hmm.
But then he went pretty quickly got his own run, and all of the big bads that you think of, probably minus Kingpin because I think he came later, but like the what's the like Mysterio?
Mhm.
Yeah, I almost said Rey Mysterio.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Rey
like
Mysterio Jr.
Crocodile, like all of the like Sinister Six, you know,
Mhm.
they like all happen in that first freaking like year of Spider-Man, and it's insane.
We might go too hard in this because Spider-Man, he's so good.
There's
He's
too
great.
much to talk
He's the
about. We
best
couldn't
one.
possibly
Well, he's
do
like
it.
the Sinister Six, and he's not like Wolverine and can like heal, and he's not like Superman, you know, and it just invincible.
He's just kind of
like
a heightened human.
He's like a heightened human
Yeah.
that can stick to things, and he's really strong, and obviously like can take a beating. But that's pretty much what he does. He just gets beat the hell out of with like
He gets beat to an
Spider-Man
inch of his life
generally
all the time.
doesn't fight one person at a time. He generally is like juggling between like one or like 2 to 3 people, and then also like trying not to make Mary Jane break up with him or have
Right.
like
Or,
please Aunt May.
Yeah.
or,
Who's the
like-
other one? Gwen Stacy. I think that's like
and get enough photos of the Spider-Man to show to his boss.
he can't pay rent, and he's like
Yeah.
It's like come on,
and
you're
he's
a
trying to
superhero.
take care of his like dying elderly aunt who's like taking care of
Oh,
him.
no. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so like what you said about like the comics, Jimmy, is I
Yeah.
think it's going to be true in this, if I can remember correctly. I feel like this just takes off right away. I don't think this is an origin story.
Sure.
I think the origin, if I can remember correctly, is literally like the intro like theme music
the theme
scene,
music
the
scene?
intro sequence
Oh,
is
I
like,
like
that's
that.
like the intro, like it shows him getting bit and stuff. Like even in '94, they were like, yeah, everyone knows where Spider-Man came from.
I can't think
Yeah.
of the theme song like I can for X-Men.
Spider-Man,
It's
Yeah.
not helping.
radioactive Spider-Man. That's
Yeah.
it. Sorry, listeners.
Yep.
To grace you with my singing.
There's a great episode you can watch on the Disney Plus about the Japanese Spider-Man, where they sold rights to do basically like a pre-Power Rangers Spider-Man, like live
Like a
action.
Super Sentai Spider-Man?
Basically, but like before that was even a thing.
Okay.
And it supposedly they talk in the episode like it basically invented that whole thing. It was kind of already happening. And it was out, but like the whole origin story and that Spider-Man's whole like story is like totally different, and there's obviously way more like explosions and just like outrageous shit that you'd expect from like a Sentai thing, but with Spider-Man.
We should watch that for
It's basically
summer camp.
Power Rangers Spider-Man.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Cool.
I'm
Who do you
into
think
it.
is the villain in this first episode?
I know who it is, so I won't say.
Oh.
Oh, you know.
I
you saw the first
I looked.
step?
Yeah, I looked up, and I did my research to make sure we didn't have concurrent episodes in the first episode or whatever. So I know, but when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I
Is it
remember it.
Kingpin? I feel like it's Kingpin.
No, Kingpin's definitely in this.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's got that guy.
And Daredevil makes an appearance.
He's got that guy in it. The Kingpin, Slithe.
Oh.
What's his name? He's like the Kingpin's like
Kinda
sidekick
lackey.
guy, but he has like a spider vehicle that he runs around in. This is like, I don't know when this is in the whole thing.
I just think you think of Mojo from X-Men.
Oh yeah,
Like that other planet. And, yeah, okay. Okay. Is it
think
Green Goblin?
I'll give you this. He's a bad guy in one of the Andrew Garfield ones.
Oh. Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, it's Jamie, specifically Jamie Foxx is the bad guy.
Was it Electro something? Why the hell can't I think of
Just Electro.
what his
You
character
keep
is?
saying
Electro.
that. You keep saying them correctly, but then
I
you
said
are
it.
like, is it this correct? But yeah, you're
It
right.
didn't seem right. Come on.
Well, why don't we do this, Jimmy? Why don't, instead of you continually guessing incorrectly,
okay. Well,
we just jump to the
it's
first
not
episode?
Jamie Foxx?
And here, this will give it away. We're going to do episode 1 of Spider-Man.
Yep.
It's called The Night of the Lizard. And we'll be back after that. And we're back. We're done with the first episode of Spider-Man, the animated series from 1994. I think the episode was called "The Night of the Lizard." Jimmy, do you have it right?
Not the night.
Just night.
Just night.
A Night of the Lizard.
Not the Spider-Man. Spider-Man discovers that his science teacher, Dr. Kurt Connors, has been turned into a deranged lizard due to an experiment gone wrong and is abducting people throughout Manhattan.
He abducted one person and also his wife. That whole episode. Two people, technically.
Yeah.
People. There were...
All over Manhattan.
There were allegations of other abductings. According to J. Jonah Jameson.
Allegedly.
Who I thought that Jameson would be a lot more annoying. I feel like later that's more of a thing. Because usually he like hates Peter. But he's like, I need Peter. And he kind of hated on Brock.
Well, I mean, yeah, Brock's kind of a loser in this show, I think, for a while.
Yeah.
He gets shit on a lot, and that kind of fuels his hatred for Spider-Man / Peter Parker.
To turn into
Venom.
I was going to say, what's the actor's name?
Topher Grace?
Oh, God, I forgot about that. No, the new one.
Bane. Mad
Isn't
Max
he also
guy.
Bane?
Yeah.
What the hell is his name?
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Brock Hardy.
Oh man, don't get me into the Venom movie and the second Venom movie.
Apparently getting a sequel. It was so bad.
Did you see the trailer for Venom 2?
Oh, I didn't know there was a trailer.
Oh, listeners and Jimmy, watch the Venom 2 trailer, and if you don't want to stab your eyes out,
Sony, why?
you gotta watch it, but it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so for the most part, it was. So they started off Spider-Man. He's in college. He goes to ESU.
What's ESU?
I think it's Empire State University.
Oh, cool.
Empire
Good
State
for
of
him.
Mind.
It's a good school.
Yeah, quality, totally real school.
Great nuclear biology program, radioactive biology.
And so I like that they just kind of went into it. It's like, yo, Spider-Man. They didn't have any origin or anything.
Yeah, I'm realizing that now. You'd mentioned that in the pre-show before.
Yeah,
but I thought that there would be something,
Yeah.
like in the intro, or at least in like the first part of this episode about.
Not even in the intro.
It's just a fully formed Spider-Man.
I mean, it's almost a fully formed. Like this could be season 2, episode 3 in reality.
Yeah.
But like not in a like a this is a bad pilot kind of way. Just in the like, hey, everyone knows what Spider-Man is.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna like introduce you to Aunt May. We're not gonna introduce you to Peter Parker.
He's a spider. He's a man.
So they just
He's
did it.
radioactive Spider-Man.
But I think what they did a really good job at was just like sprinkling in these like hints of just like kind of this is what Peter Parker's life is like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think I really liked it, which was like the whole like Aunt May like looking at an overdue bill thing and Peter seeing it and like him trying to make some money. They sprinkled in Brock being like, we know Venom, like whatever and all that stuff, but like Spider-Man screwed him over. So now like there's a reason for Brock to hate Spider-Man.
Yep. This like they got the ball rolling on some plot stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fun. But not like but it wasn't like telegraphed for you like a lot of other cartoons.
No, you had to pay attention. This was not like this was good enough for adults.
I don't think we've done the original Transformers yet.
No.
But those episodes when they do not hold up. Like when you go back and watch, it's like something explodes and then a Transformer's like, something exploded over there. And you're like, you didn't need to say it. Like we saw it happen on the screen.
Yeah. Even just like the animation itself is like pretty high quality, even compared to like contemporary shows like the X-Men show.
Oh yeah, I remember. Wasn't the X-Men show? Didn't it get worse in the finale?
Yeah, because like at that point they were like working with like a firm in the Philippines or something.
Yeah, they switched to a different
yeah
company, but yeah, they had sprinkled in some CG, which I did not remember or expect.
Neither did I. Yeah, I didn't.
And apparently that was something they wanted to do like a lot of, but Budge held them to just what they did. But they literally wanted every time like Spider-Man, just basically the whole background would be like CG.
Oh, well,
according to the wiki.
I guess I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It didn't look bad, and I could see like how they wanted to do it for maybe like web slinging or something like that, like the city shots. And
I'm sure there's plenty of that, but
yeah,
there was a little bit in this.
Spider-Man also mentioned a couple things that were pretty fun. Things that, if you're paying attention, it brings you into the world. One was he said like, oh, my web's getting a little like loose or something like that. I better switch out my web cartridges. So like you knew, if you're paying attention, that he was a web cartridge Spider-Man and not a Tobey Maguire. The webs come out of his wrists.
Come out of my body.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man. That always bugged me about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, because I grew up with this one and I was like, Spider-Man doesn't make webs.
Yeah, it's like a thing he invented.
Yeah, he like invented them. His body doesn't make webs.
If I remember right, eventually in this series we find out that it's not even like him. It's like another like doctor who's helping him with that too.
Oh, maybe I
or
can't
maybe
remember
like
that.
helps him build a better web or something. Another like Kurt Connors type.
Yeah, I mean he works with a bunch of sciencey people, so that's definitely a thing. And then he also was like, man, I bet the Avengers don't have to go in the sewers. I bet the Defenders don't have to go in the sewers. Like he kept mentioning other superhero groups and stuff. And I was like, oh man, these are just things that you don't get in modern superhero stuff because of like Sony owns this and that, like Disney owns this, and so we can't say the word mutant and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's kind of a innocent time.
Yeah, it's like a breath of fresh air where you can just say like, we're in this universe, like I can say these words and everything's fine.
Yeah, man, the fact that this show is in New York really opens up a lot of Marvel comic stuff. Like you could have, you could have Avengers and Defenders and Punisher and all that stuff.
Well, we saw Punisher in the intro sequence.
Yeah,
so he's definitely in it. I'm pretty confident I think Silver Surfer's in this show at some point.
Whoa! Oh, because there was a Fantastic Four animated show.
Or maybe I'm just thinking of that, but
could be.
I think you're right, because I have not seen any Fantastic Four show, and I remember Silver Surfer being a thing.
Nice.
So it must have been from Spider-Man.
There's also a 90s Iron Man at some point.
Yeah, we should do that at some point.
Which that could
I haven't
be.
really seen that.
The only thing I remember of the 90s Iron Man show is the gargoyle guy who could like do whirlwinds or something like that. I think his name is Gargoyle. Or, yeah, let's just go with that.
Are you thinking of that animated like Knights of the Round Table show where like the
King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table?
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Did you ever
man.
see that show?
No.
Oh,
These
Joe.
football players somehow get sucked into a time vortex and got superpowers, and they become Knights of the Round Table,
Yeah.
but they all have superpowers, like
It's like
individual powers.
They have armor, and then
based
on
their
their
like sigil,
the sigil on their chest is like what they can
like
do.
an animal or something.
One guy's is just a brick wall. One guy's sigil is like he can make a brick wall appear.
Okay.
But it's pretty badass.
Sometimes you just need a wall. You just gotta wall stuff off.
Doing a lot of swears for this PG episode.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry, 8-year-old kid that stumbled upon our podcast.
You were supposed to go to bed like an hour ago.
Yeah, it's too late for you. It's noon.
Forget those words.
What Joe,
else?
Joe, we haven't heard from you as much.
What
What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Hates it.
My first impression is that the the animation was better than the contemporaries. It seemed like they had spent some money on this. I'm trying to think of what else do I take from this. I mean, like it was a pretty standard like action adventure for like a first episode.
Yeah,
like it wasn't really so much of an intro. Just like we're just diving right in.
You really just were like, this is the life. This is how he's doing it. Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused with the lizard. Is that what we're calling him, Dr. Connors?
Yep.
like his whole plan of just like we're just gonna turn the entire city into lizards because I'm a lizard now.
Yeah, his evil plan
Mhm.
was kind of like pretty whatever.
It's
You
just
know?
like I'm in the next evolution, so I'm gonna make everyone the next evolution.
I think there was at some point like he was like saying something and Peter was like, "Oh, the lizard mind's taken over."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, the lizard mind's not trying to use technology to turn other people into lizards. Like that's not
Well,
what
and like he's explaining this
the
plan to his
amphibian
wife
brain.
that like everybody is gonna be a lizard and like there'll be no more suffering, and she's like, "What are you talking about? Like this is not better. Like look at you, you're a lizard." And he's like, "What do you mean?"
yeah, whatever. I'm confused.
Yeah, like his Dr. Connors' wife is just like the most logical person. Just like we need to fix you first, make you not a lizard, and then we could figure out this whole plan for the rest of the world. Yeah, so that's a little weird, but
yeah, she's very calm.
for whatever reason, I don't remember, like, I was into this show and I was very into a lot of the characters, but I wasn't into the lizard for whatever reason. I don't know why the lizard never struck me. Like, I think of, like, Dr. Octopus and,
Oh, yeah.
does anyone ever refer to him as Dr. Octopus? Or is it
Doc Ock.
strictly Doc Ock? Dr. Octavius.
Otto Octavius.
Yeah, no one ever calls him Dr. Octopus.
Any of those things.
And like Venom and the Hobgoblin and Green Goblin and Mysterio, like those are like the villains that I'm just like, hell yeah, Spider-Man.
Shocker.
For whatever reason, I
Yeah.
don't think of
Shocker. The
Shocker.
Vulture.
Rhino.
even Kingpin.
Yeah.
Vulture's dope. I think.
For whatever reason, I don't really think of the lizard.
Maybe they just so you think maybe a bad choice for episode 1 villain? They should have done maybe somebody a little bit more prestigious.
Dove straight in.
Yeah,
to the
I mean-
Sinister Six.
Something. I mean, I think maybe what I'm looking for is more of a special power other than just being a lizard. All those other ones have like very interesting like gadgets or straight up powers, whether it's illusion stuff that Mysterio does or like throwing
It's an
exploding
illusion,
pumpkins.
Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting to start with a villain that's not really like a real villain that's going to be around, and
Mm-hmm.
like he's probably in a bunch of these episodes just as Dr. Connors, you know?
Because he's like fine now.
And then like every once in a while, I was like, oh crap, I'm a lizard again.
Yeah, it's very
Come and
obvious.
get me.
Yeah, it's very obvious that essentially he won't be like a returning or a reoccurring villain
Mm-hmm.
frequently because he's not a villain on his own. He just wants to like have 2 arms.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
him trying to get 2 arms made him like have a reptile brain and body for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then now he seems to be cured. Did he have 2 arms at the end of this or did he only have
No.
1?
I don't remember.
He's back to 1 arm?
Just 1 arm?
Okay.
So he's just going to try again, right?
He might, yeah. I mean, yeah. Maybe he'll try again. Maybe that's the pilot of the first episode of every season is like him trying again.
He's just like, oh, I'm
Season-
a wizard.
Season 4 or 5, Peter's just like, dude, stop. And he's like, I thought I had it this time, Peter. I thought I did it.
Could have swore I had it.
I really did.
We're so close.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a scientist.
I could
That's
see
what
that.
he
I mean,
does.
you don't want to like blow it all and have like a Venom right away, but
Yeah.
Right.
You got to save Venom.
Yeah, maybe they were just trying to do a lesser thing, and without doing like immediately a member of the Sinister Six or Venom or Carnage or whatever. They probably never get to Carnage in this, huh? Well,
Carnage
5
is in
years.
This. Carnage is in this
Yeah.
for sure.
I had
That's
a
a long
Carnage
time.
toy, so
Oh, dope.
he's got to be in it at some point.
Was there a Carnage in the movies? Did we ever get there?
There will be in Venom 2,
I feel like
played by Woody Harrelson.
They might have teased it
I
or
feel like they
something in
teased
Spider-Man 3.
I feel like
I
they
don't
did.
know.
Spider-Man 3 was Venom, right?
Yeah.
It was Topher.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think whoever the Carnage character is was totally in that.
So Woody Harrelson as well.
Paul Giamatti.
He was the Rhino,
You want to fire that?
and
Show up
maybe in a dumpster.
Yeah. My only other thing is that we did not have Gwen Stacy or Mary Jane in this.
No.
We had some gal named Deborah Whitman, who we've never heard of, who's just like a classmate, who apparently like doesn't even is normally like mean to Peter.
Mean in the
But there could
I
be
like
something.
you kind of way.
Yeah, they're totally. By the end, I was like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Did you just compliment me, Deborah?
She's
Let's
like a
kiss.
she's like a Big Bang type of nerd, you know. She's like, I'm smart, but I'm also like a blonde girl in a like in a lab coat.
Wearing glasses.
You can't be smart and blonde.
Well, that's not what I went with. I was like,
Kind of sounded like
I meant she looked like she might be a smart cartoon hottie. That
you can't be attractive and smart.
I don't think
Is what Josh said.
No, I don't think that's.
I'm just trying to understand what you're saying.
I think that smart, attractive lady is into Peter Parker, but she's being mean to him because that's what you do sometimes when you're 10 and you think someone's cute.
That's true. That's the go-to.
Yeah, that's a go-to.
Pull the ponytail.
They know their audience.
So, pilot-wise, or just like first episode, rolling into number 2, sick of cartoon Spider-Man already.
I think because like this is a show that's going to run every day, right? It's not rolling weekly.
Interesting.
Well, okay. So oddly enough, looking at Wikipedia, it says that the original air date for this first episode was November 19th, 1994.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started up weekly starting on February 4th of 95.
Okay.
So there was like an actual pilot that maybe they put out. Hey
Yeah,
kids,
for some sort of
hey
special or
kids, do you
something.
like Spider-Man?
Definitely weekly, not daily. There's only 65 episodes total.
and then it went weekly.
Oh, so it is weekly. Well, I was gonna say like, with it being daily, you don't necessarily need like episode to episode continuity. You just need to put on a cool show. But I guess if it is weekly, it still might be the same kind of thing. Because depending on like, it's a kids show. If it's part of a like Saturday morning cartoon block, and it's just like this is the show I watch after X-Men, like you just need it to be like decent quality. Like you're going for quality and attention as opposed to storyline. And I feel like in terms of just like being a cool show with a fun leading character and some superpowers, like it totally hits.
For sure.
Yeah.
Top of the Fox Kids game.
Yeah, and this is Saturday Fox Kids. So this was like Saturday morning cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's wake up
Like
and be
you're
like,
you're not changing the channel when Spider-Man comes on. 'Cause
when you're
just like,
when
that
you're
was fun.
9 or 10 and you wake up on Saturday morning, you're like, yeah, this is what I'm doing for the next 2 hours, 3 hours, or however long it was. Agreed.
This might be a summer camp long discussion, but like when did like Saturday cartoons is not a thing anymore, right? Saturday kids programming, is that a thing?
I
When
mean,
did-
it is
when
on
did that
some
die?
channel, I'm assuming, but like,
But like
'Cause this
not
is
to
like-
the extent, you know?
I mean, yeah, if I turned on
90s
Fox.
is like that's like full on, and I'm sure for long before that, but like
I feel bad for kids if that's true. But also it's
go
like,
outside, kids.
I mean, Saturday morning cartoons, it's cartoons whenever you want now with Netflix and
That's true.
everything
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Disney Plus. So
It's every day. It's every morning.
it is different. We didn't have any of that
Especially in
stuff to turn
Zoom
on.
school.
Zoom school.
Johnny, you're on mute. It's like, oh, let me pause animated Spider-Man on Disney Plus, and then I'll hop in this call.
Yeah. Let's do predictions for this finale.
Let's do it.
Who wants to go first? Don't
'Kay.
everyone jump at once.
Joe's researching. I think so. We didn't have MJ or GS, but I think we get by the 5th season. Maybe Mary Jane is come and gone, so I think we have Gwen Stacy and Peter as some sort of thing.
Okay.
That's my first one. My number 2, I think we have to sell we talked about toys a little bit. I think we've got to sell some toys. I think there's like a spider thing, and I'm thinking it's a spider bike. I think there's like several, like there's like a spider copter and crap. Yeah, I think he's got a motorcycle.
Okay.
That they gotta sell, a spider bike. Number 3, it's the finale. Even if it got canceled, it's the series finale. So I think we're saving the whole planet at this point, whatever we're doing. Which is funny because we kind of talked about at the beginning about how he's not like Superman. He's not even like a super powerful like mutant or something.
He's not.
He's just a spider.
Yeah, put it in. He's not Thor.
He's he's just clever, and he's got great powers for sure, but he's not like crazy strong like Hulk or Thor or something. Right. He's got his webs. Yeah. Anyway, saving the Earth, nonetheless. Then number 4, I think we get a Fox Kids X-Men crossover. I want to see an X person.
Okay.
An X person. Any
X individual.
An X, whatever sexuality spectrum.
Cool.
Was that all of them?
That's 4.
Oh, okay. Joe was gonna go, but I'm gonna go first. Mine are. I think there's multiple Spider-Men.
Okay.
Because it's called something about spider people.
So it falls under. We all knew this going into it, but it falls under the category. It's called Spider Wars.
Yeah.
And I thought their episode was literally called Spider Wars 1 and Spider Wars 2.
Oh,
but apparently it's Spider Wars, and then there's 2 episodes, and they both have 2 names.
Oh.
But we're gonna watch them both, so deal with it.
Okay.
But so multiple Spider-Men. I think number 2, there's multiverse action.
Okay, so you didn't mean by multiple Spider-Men, you did not mean multiverse.
Well, there doesn't because there are multiple Spider-Men without multiverse. Like Ben Reilly is also a Spider-Man. He's Scarlet Spider.
But isn't he from a different
No, he's
verse?
a clone of Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so there's other ways to have multiple Spider-Men.
Yeah.
So I'm covering all my bases.
Okay,
multiple Spider-Men
hitting them all. Okay.
And a multiverse faction.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, I think Aunt May is dead.
Oh. Okay.
She's old, man. And number 2, I think Peter is dating Mary Jane. They break up a lot, and there was no conclusive. She wasn't even in this first episode, so we'll find out if she's even there.
Okay. I've got Aunt May alive and well, and she knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Ooh.
She has figured out his identity.
She figures it out and lives.
We'll see.
Yeah. Spider-Man is a very he's very New York superhero. And so I think we see a New York landmark. Some sort of real life New York landmark.
Nice.
I think Peter as Spider-Man is responsible for someone's death. I don't know that he kills someone, but I think he either fails to save or decides not to save someone and is responsible for their death.
He's got to make a choice.
Dark. Yeah, it's something that he does is responsible for someone's death.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm in.
And then similar to Jimmy's crossover, I think we see Wolverine.
God, I hope so. Nice.
I'm into it. Cool. So let's get into we're going to watch the last 2 episodes of Spider-Man because they were on the same night. They were entitled Spider Wars 1 and 2, but I think they have different names, and we'll get to that after we watch them or whatever. But
okay.
We'll be back after the finale, essentially, of Spider-Man. And we're back. We're doing the last 2 episodes of Spider-Man. Both were called Spider Wars, Part 1 and Part 2. Jimmy, elaborate for us.
Here we go. This is January 31st, 1998, if you're wondering. I know you were.
Really quick. The episodes before that were November 21st.
Yeah, and they're wild. I like had pulled up the season, and I thought I was on the ones that we watched. And so like we saw some like flashbacks in these episodes that we did watch of like Storm and Captain America and Iron Man and all this stuff happening with freaking Doctor Doom and the Lizard, and that's just like a couple episodes before, which is Secret Wars, which is like a famous comic series that supposedly, allegedly is what the brothers, what are their names, that they want to do for the next like Infinity Saga.
The Brothers Grimm.
The Brothers Grimm that directed Civil War and the Infinity.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
That Endgame. And
I can't
Infinity
place
Wars.
their names either.
Russo brothers.
Russo.
The Russo brothers.
There you go.
Supposedly they're like, yeah, we'll come back if we can do Secret Wars. So that's kind of where this whole thing is headed. And the Beyonder, who's like kind of the, I don't know,
a lot of
pushing a lot of this plot.
Yeah, you were really quick before you even go. A lot of this series is broken up into like big chunks of parts. Like the seasons themselves after season 1 are like almost full story arcs.
Wow.
Season 2 is called, I can't even read that, Neogenic Nightmare. And it's, the whole season is chapters 1 through 14.
Wow.
Season 3 is The Sins of the Fathers, 1 through 14.
Whoa.
Season 4
I'm
is
interested in that.
Partners in Danger, 1 through 11. And then season 5 is broken up in a weird, The Wedding. We were talking about this before we started recording. The Wedding is number 1. And then it's got 6 Forgotten Warriors, which that's a 5-parter. The Return of Hydra Man, which is a 2-parter. Secret Wars, which is probably what we saw a lot of, which is a 3-parter.
This last season sounds a little bit like animated X-Men, where it's just a bunch of chunks.
Yeah, like a bunch of mini sagas almost.
Yeah. Okay, should I read the ones that we watched?
Yeah. Let's talk about the ones we actually watched, though.
I'm still thinking about the Wedding okay, we'll get there.
We didn't watch
We'll
it.
get there. Spider-Man is taken to an alternate dimension where, due to a series of events, his native Peter Parker has bonded with the Carnage symbiote to become the maniacal Spider Carnage, who has devastated and demolished New York City with the aid of Kingpin, Alistair
I think that might be
Smythe?
right. Sure.
That's how it reads. The Hobgoblin and Green Goblin. The Beyonder tells Spider-Man that his deranged counterpart plans to use a matter disintegrator bomb powered by the time dilation accelerator to destroy the entire multiverse. And the only way to stop him is for Spidey to lead a group of Spider-Men from different dimensions to prevent the blast. Unfortunately, one of the Spider-Men is suffering from the 6-armed mutation. He turns into the feral Spider-Man, or Man-Spider, mid-mission. So then we go into part 2, chapter 2, Farewell Spider-Man.
Really quick, do you guys remember? So I feel like Man Spider was just a ripoff of Man Bat when Batman had to fight the Man Bat.
I do remember the Man Bat, yeah.
Yeah, but early on in this Spider-Man iteration, I think Peter Parker turns into Man Spider.
Yeah, he also had he
like
our Peter Parker,
like episode 3.
Yep.
Who's to say? Okay, and he says that too. He's like, "Oh, this happened to me one time." Okay, part 2. The Spider-Men stop Spider Carnage in his home dimension, but he escapes to another dimension, the one where Spider-Man is a billionaire. With limited power, Madam Web sends the original Spider-Man to this dimension, where he finds himself engaged to Gwen Stacy and finds Mary Jane alive.
Yeah, so she must be dead.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
yeah,
did they like James Bond this, where he gets married and she immediately dies? Have you seen that one? It's
isn't that just a Casino Royale?
On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's also just the exact same plot as the book.
Oh, sorry.
He gets married at the end of the episode, at the end of the book, and then she's immediately assassinated. And it's like, oh my God. And I hope that's what the wedding is. If nothing else, I just want to go watch that. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Mary Jane's alive. Though it seems Spider Carnage can't be stopped, this reality is where Peter Parker made the right decisions. A still alive Uncle Ben manages to bring the real Peter's personality out of Spider Carnage, but the symbiote is too strong. Spider Carnage jumps into an unstable portal that destroys him. When all the Spider-Men are being returned home, the Powerless One explains that in his world, he's an actor that portrays Spider-Man, and he is a fictional character. Spidey journeys to that world, where he meets his creator Stan Lee and takes him web swinging as thanks for creating him. Madam Web then takes Spider-Man to find Mary Jane as a reward for saving reality.
Crazy. It was a lot of crap.
Mm-hmm.
I said it to you guys when we were watching it, and I'll say it for the listeners. This is only 40 minutes of a TV show, but expound that to a 2-hour MCU movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a fucking Spider-Man movie,
And that's what the new
and
the
that
next
just might be
Spider-Man's gonna be.
yeah, pretty much what it is.
Allegedly.
I don't know. I assume the new Spider-Man movies might not be able to use symbiotes potentially because they're doing
Probably
Venom
owned
stuff
by
for
Sony. Yeah,
Sony.
Weird.
for sure.
Which, I mean, Spider-Man's still owned by Sony, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's just Sony's like leasing him to Marvel in a
Mhm.
weird backwards way, like leasing the character you made to the people.
Mm-hmm.
It just means they get to ask for whatever they want from Disney, and
It just means that they don't have to do
They've
much work
been
and they
doing
make
it.
money because they know that Marvel's Spider-Mans are
did
better.
you hear about the second movie?
Which one?
The second Spider-Man one with the Jay Gyllenhaals.
Homecoming?
That it was like Sony like pulled the rights or whatever because they wanted to change their contract, and they got like half. They got half of that movie's money.
Well, hey.
Which, I mean, it like they own the rights, so like they can. But man, that's like, damn, that's a lot of money. Even half of one Disney Marvel movie is a lot of money to be made
right.
off of just because we own the name. I don't think they had to do anything.
Not really.
Slap
Probably not.
Sony on it.
Yeah, exactly. I want to ask Joe what he thought about this, but really quickly, I think we should just name the players in this
Okay.
episode.
Yeah.
So we have
name the Spider-Man.
Original Spider-Man, basically the one. If you had been
Peter
watching the
Parker.
show,
Yeah.
you'd been watching that Spider. Well, they're all Peter Parker.
Almost.
The one you'd been watching the whole time. There was Spider-Man with armor,
Yeah.
who was the billionaire Iron Man-esque Peter Parker.
Yeah. So the write-up says he did everything right. He's so clearly because his reality, Uncle Ben's alive. So this whole time, if our Peter Parker, quote unquote,
Yeah.
had just saved Uncle Ben, he'd be a billionaire.
Yeah. He just never makes mistakes. He's never failed.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's amazing.
Also, that means never failed Spider-Man. His true love is Gwen Stacy. Then
Yeah.
Well,
never
yeah, it
failed
depends.
Spider-Man.
It depends
Just
because
saying.
like in the comic run, the first love is actually Betty Brant, who's like a 20-year-old at the newspaper when he's like in high school, which is really weird.
Nice. Except creepy for her.
Played by Elizabeth Banks in Spider-Man 3.
Oh, weird. Okay.
I don't think I knew who she was.
Yeah,
then,
no,
but
I
saw it on the IMDb.
I didn't know that she was like a Spider-Man character. I thought she was just Elizabeth Banks playing like J. Jonah Jameson's like person.
Like assistant, yeah.
There was Scarlet Spider, which is hilarious because literally as we cut recording, I explained to all of you like the story of Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider in like a second, and I was like, he's Ben Reilly, Spider-Man's clone, but actually he turns out to be actually Peter Parker, but he thought he was a clone, blah blah blah, and then like in 10 seconds into this episode, he then explained that story.
Yeah.
I had no idea that Scarlet Spider was in this at all, so that makes me really
Yeah.
happy.
I thought he would be more in this.
Yeah. And then I wrote down Goro Spider-Man because I thought he only had 4 arms, but then he had 6. So he was the Spider-Man that was suffering from the mutation and hadn't like fully cured it, but like had the man spider under control.
The 8 legs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he had 6 arms though. Well, I guess he had 8 legs, so
right,
2
right,
legs.
right.
Yeah, so he had 8 appendages. And then there was then there was the Spider-Man without powers. Who comes into the play at the very
Don't worry
end.
about it. He's at the very beginning.
He's in a full Spider-Man suit, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm you, but like I don't have any powers."
I'm Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Don't
gonna
worry about
come
it.
in at the end and like save the day somehow, but like he didn't.
No,
really.
no.
Yeah, he just brought him to Stan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean
That's
at the end
100% his role.
yeah, at the end when Spider-Man wins everything, no power Spider-Man just brings that Spider-Man to presumably our reality
Yeah.
in cartoon form
Mm-hmm.
to meet his creator Stan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And then he slung around New York with like Stan Lee on his back, and Stan Lee was like, "That was great." And so all of those Spider-Mans are versus Spider Carnage, which is another Peter Parker from a different dimension mixed with the Carnage symbiote, the Kingpin, Alistair Smythe, who isn't just a human, he's like a mutated thing. And I remember he got mutated into whatever he is in the show, but I have no idea how he became that guy. Also, he's got like these 2 little spikes coming out of his shoulders, and apparently they shoot lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really sure what he's got going on.
Yeah, so that's weird. And then there was 2 goblins, one of the Hob variety and one of the green variety. And Joe, you pointed out like astutely, because I was like, I recognize this voice, but you're like, that's Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Definite Mark Hamill voice of the Hobgoblin.
Yeah,
Good call.
Which sounds a lot like the Joker.
yeah, it's just his Joker voice, really. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually think I'm pretty sure that some of the animators of this were Batman the Animated Series animators, which we should also do.
Yeah, while we were watching this, I actually was like, man, I want to watch Batman Beyond. Because as far as I'm
just
concerned,
Dark
Batman
Spider-Man.
Beyond might be the better of the 2 Batman animated series.
Interesting.
But that's we can get into that till a later date.
Did you say Octo Spider-Man? Was I just not listening?
We talked about
Octavius Spider-Man.
Oh no!
Oh
we
no,
didn't.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't write him down. No.
Which is interesting because in the comics, Dr. Octavius, because like Peter Parker's off, maybe dead or in another reality or something, and Dr. Octavius decides he's going to turn a leaf and he becomes Ultimate Spider-Man.
Is that Ultimate? Okay, I was
Yeah.
like, is that Spectacular or Ultimate? Isn't there one Spider-Man where Dr. Octavius like his mind's like put into Peter Parker? Like he's the body of Peter
Probably.
Parker,
There's
and
been a lot of Spider-Mans.
but he's Dr. Ock in the mind, and that's why he has the spider arms.
In the mind.
Yeah.
Probably. I would
I
not
mean,
be surprised.
Both of what we just said are probably 2 actual instances that happened.
Yeah.
So.
And then Beyonder and Madam Web.
Oh, and then the Beyonder, yeah, where the flib that guy is.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I would like to just watch this season because the little arc right before this, before Spider Wars, is Secret Wars, which is where the Beyonder comes from, and he's the bad guy. Like he puts all of Earth's like heroes and makes them battle each other to like study them, and that's what
It sounds
that entire
sounds
arc is.
Awesome.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
I'll
it sounds
watch
like
it.
a
Wanna see
good
that
couple
fight?
episodes.
I'll watch that.
So what I'm
Battle
asking,
Royale.
really, what I want to direct towards Joe specifically is because I think me and Jimmy are just really excited about Spider-Man and superheroes.
General.
Definitely more so than you. Not saying you're not, but you can hold it back a little bit better than us. So, what are your initial thoughts of whatnot of this conclusion?
I mean, it was really cool. I mean, to like have the different Spider-Mans, and it wasn't like a convoluted plot at all, and it did feel. I mean, what's more final than a Spider-Man Carnage who's trying to destroy all of reality? Right? Like,
That was the only part that I thought was like weird. Was just like what is this? Why is he trying to kill all reality? Because presumably he kills himself then if his plan works out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he does.
I just don't understand.
That'd be amazing, though.
I don't understand bad guys bad guys don't want to die.
I don't know. I don't know what Carnage's motivations are.
I feel like Carnage of all people, because Carnage was built out of like a serial killer and the Venom symbiote. So wouldn't Carnage want people around and him to be alive so he could just cause pain?
I don't know. Maybe
know?
he just feels pain and he's just like, I just need to end this.
I feel like he's more chaotic than that, though.
Well, there can be no chaos if nothing exists.
It's more, but what's more chaotic than that?
I mean,
That's like the ultimate.
I have no answers.
Maybe he's just there for the journey. Maybe he just wants to, try to destroy everything so that Spider-Man tries to stop him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and funny enough of Mark Hamill being in this is Spider Carnage almost seems like a Joker-esque character, like that maybe he just does like chaos and destruction.
Yeah.
But
see if you can stop it.
So yeah, I think it's cool that you get to see different kinds of Spider-Man and then also see the different iterations of the different Spider-Man adjacent characters in the different universes.
Yeah.
And then, you don't get much more of an ultimate bad guy other than Spider-Man himself mixed with Carnage.
Right, yeah, because it wouldn't be believable if it was like a Venom, probably. It seems like maybe they could reason with him. So it had to be someone
and then Uncle
loose.
Ben comes back.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, there's part of me that thought that, like, this would just be kind of like a thrown together finale. Then that it got canceled or whatever, but it was very much like, we're throwing everything at this finale. Like, they even came into, like, some sort of semblance of real world reality where they met Stan Lee, the creator of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Pretty meta.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of like everyone
wall.
sitting on a patio and staring at the camera, listening to like some emo band play music while they sit around. I was trying to think of the end
talking
of
about
Weeds.
Big Bang?
The end of Weeds.
Oh, Weeds, yeah.
No, just like, hey, it's over. We're in your reality now. I mean, I loved it, so that's why I wanted to ask you, because I don't think I can necessarily be objective, because all this makes me want to do is watch this whole show.
Yeah.
I just
shit on it, Joe.
I remember
I don't think
the X-Men finale being pretty bad.
Well,
yeah, that's
the
true.
animation is terrible.
Yeah.
And like at least the quality of this didn't go down or change.
And like kind of the same era. I don't remember if there was a like final of the like Batman animated series.
I don't know.
And I feel like there probably wasn't. So yeah, I was like pleasantly surprised to see like a finale of finales.
It's a solid cartoon.
And it wasn't a wedding.
Yeah, right.
Or a funeral.
Well, there was some dead people at least off screen for sure. I'm pretty surprised they didn't I don't think any of the Spider-Mans died.
Well, Spider Carnage threw himself into the void.
Oh yeah,
he's dead.
And
Whatever
that
Spider-Man
void
that
was
was.
explicit that you cease to exist. I suppose. Yeah. So
Yep. Toss himself in.
that's true. R.I.P.
I
Spider
don't
Carnage.
still really understand where that Spider-Man came from. Maybe we glossed over that quickly.
Well, there was I think the like dimensional portal, like the Carnage like came out of it, didn't he, or something like that?
He did, but I thought
yeah.
that Peter Parker that got merged with Carnage.
He was already kind of bad.
Yeah, he was the one that existed in Scarlet Spider's reality.
Yep.
Yeah,
Now
because
I
he was
remember
the other. He was the clone then,
He's
right?
the actual clone.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. It
No,
was
no,
inconclusive because Ben said that. It was like, I'm his clone or he's my clone. We don't know.
Right. I think in the comic, at least, if I can remember correctly, from what I know of Scarlet Spider, is that Ben Reilly was Scarlet Spider, and then he finds out that he was actually like, I was the real Spider-Man all along. I'm the real Peter Parker. And that the guy who was Spider-Man and Peter Parker was actually the clone. I don't know. It's the end of Planet of the Apes. They were wrong. It was Earth all along.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It was Bruce Willis the whole time. Twist.
Yeah. So, whatever. But good. I mean, I think in the end we're giving this a pretty solid, like, especially if you like Spider-Man and you were 10, probably 5 to 15 when the show was on, and you caught a glimpse of it, you were probably into it.
Mm-hmm.
Boys and girls and everything in between, all around, like, so good. Such a good show.
And this is a good, obviously, like, it's a lasting character. It's been done and done and done, probably more than Batman, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's true. I have to count.
Also, unlike Batman, like, Spider-Man is like, it's like a good person, like a person that was like pretty much pure of heart, like was like just struggling and trying to like live their life, but then also had superpowers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like what they would do, because it's not like Spider-Man of all people couldn't just like find money, but like it's just like that's the big thing about Spider-Man. He's just like trying to be good, and also now he's a superhero, so now he's trying to do super good for everybody, and also figuring out. And I think this show did a good job, even in this last episode, trying to do that, of like just kind of show his struggles. That's why he speaks to people.
It's good.
That's why the Spider-Man video game made me cry.
Yeah, the video game?
Yeah, man.
Good.
Oh, man, I got to get in this video game.
Oh, man, it's excellent.
I got it on the shelf somewhere. I'll borrow it to you.
All right.
So
It made me. I cried at the end of it.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I haven't had a game make me cry yet. Well, I'm ready, though.
I mean, you might be fine. But
I feel like I was okay, but only because you'd played it first and you had said that. And
yeah,
so
the problem is
like,
I told you
I
that,
saw
so
it coming.
Mm.
I braced myself for it. But so I do really appreciate that this show, it's not an origin story. It's not like he's not even like in high school anymore. He's like in college. He's got some established life.
Mm-hmm.
He apparently gets married or attempts to, I assume.
he gets married. There's an episode about the honeymoon.
Nice.
So
Is it
MJ
called
does not
The
die.
Honeymoon?
Yeah, it's called. No, it's not.
That's where she dies.
It's during Secret Wars, I think.
Really? She lasts that long?
It's just a whole episode of him and Mary Jane just hanging out in Hawaii, like swimming with dolphins.
No, sorry. It's during
going to a luau.
during the return of Hydro Man.
Oh, Hydra Man.
Oh, Hydra Man's
Eat
always
some
gotta.
poi.
They went to the ocean and Hydra Man came out. I still don't understand what Hydra
I
Man
should have
is.
known I'd find you here.
He's like, I'm everywhere where
I've been
water
waiting.
is. All right. Well, hey,
Cool.
here's the deal. We like this show. Let's go for predictions. We're running long technically.
Oh, man.
Jimmy, you went first. You should go again.
Okay, I thought. Okay, this will be interesting. I thought that we'd have Gwen Stacy and Pete, which technically Pete arrived and Gwen Stacy's there and she's the fiance of armored Spider-Man Pete.
Mm-hmm. I think in multiverse rules, if it happened, you get the point. Like, just
I mean, right? How else do you follow
nothing
it?
nothing is definitive. So if it happened in a universe, you get the point.
Excellent. Then I thought there's going to be a spider bike or some sort of toy, but maybe the toy they were selling was just 1,000 new Spider-Man
There
toys.
was a spider bot, but not a spider bike.
Oh, I forgot about Spider-Bot.
Spider-Bot
Armored
is pretty
Spider-Man,
cool, yeah.
billionaire Spider-Man had his own, basically like an X-Man Sentinel, but
Mhm.
Spider-Man bot. Then number 3, I said, he's saving the Earth. But boy, did I underestimate that one. But
I mean,
also technically
He definitely
true.
saved the Earth.
I mean, yeah, Carnage said that he was going to put the whole planet
He's-
into the void. So
Yeah, he saved all of reality. So the
Mhm.
Earth was, in theory, saved. And then I thought there'd be an X-person crossover.
mm-hmm.
And we did see Storm.
Yeah, saw Storm.
So
I searched. We also just we saw Captain America.
that's
We
dope.
saw
And Iron Man.
Punisher, Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we saw other people.
Stone
Um,
Cold Steve Austin was there.
The Rock.
Barack Obama.
Paul Walker.
Teenage Ninja. Only Raphael from the Teenage Ninja Turtles.
Luda was there.
Monica.
So 3.
So 3.
Yeah.
That might be a
boy.
high for me. I don't know.
Pretty good. Okay. So my first one was multiple Spider-Men.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely happened.
Sure.
That was on
So
the
many.
thumbnail when we turned it on.
Mhm.
I was like, oh shit. Oh shoot. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
PG month.
It's too. It's too late.
Yeah. Maybe these get bleeped out and everything's fine. Maybe the editor doesn't do that.
I don't know. It's 2021. Maybe shit's okay with the kids.
Oh yeah. Kids like to shit.
Yeah.
Um,
They've moved on to way more offensive words.
Oh, true. That's probably true.
like Corona. Number 2, multiverse action.
Yeah.
That definitely happened.
Definitely.
100%.
And then, I mean, so Joe, if this happened in the multiverse, and it's real, my first one was Aunt May is dead.
Yeah. I mean, because the first universe we see,
Yeah.
like Carnage shows up and he's like, I don't remember. No, it wasn't Carnage. It was the Beyonder. He was like, Aunt May is gone.
Yeah, he literally said like she doesn't exist in this reality or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I would
Because
count
that
it,
was
yeah.
Ben Reilly's.
Yeah.
Oh, so interesting. So in this world, no, wait, it's. I'm getting so confused. In Ben Reilly's universe, she's gone.
Yeah.
Because then we're in Armored Guys, and then Uncle Ben's there.
Yeah, and then we
Mhm.
went
We
to
don't know if
real
she's there,
reality.
Mm-hmm.
Where she really doesn't exist.
Okay, so Aunt May was dead in Armored. No, wait,
Something.
in Scarlet Spider's reality.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we'll take that. And then actually, I think this one isn't true because we don't have proof on any of them. And Peter is dating MJ. So the only thing we know is that in Billionaire Spider-Man, MJ is alive, but she's like freaked out about Spider-Man because she's like,
Doesn't
"Dude, get
know
away
what's
from
up.
me!
Yeah.
I don't really know you." In Peter Parker's reality,
Like Prime Spider-Man. Yeah.
it seems that she's dead and
It sounds
gone.
like she's dead. Yeah.
Yep.
And then in the end, Madam Web says, "Let's make you happy and go find you a reality with Mary Jane
Yeah.
in it." And it's like, you can't, what?
That's a pretty sick burn when you think about it. That's like, to make you happy, we're going to find you a girlfriend, but we have to traverse multiple universes to find the woman for you.
It feels like that sometimes. Right?
Sounds messed
The
up.
world.
And so I don't think I say no point for that
I don't think so.
because
So close.
at the moment he's not dating. I mean, maybe one more episode. when
Had there
he-
been another season.
Had there been
yeah.
one more season, he goes to reality and he meets that MJ potentially. But
Even that could have been like today. That would just been a post-credit scene, right? For
Yeah.
Marvel.
exactly. So, but I'll take my 3 points as well.
Cool.
Man.
I had that Aunt May knows who Peter Parker is. And we didn't really get that from any of the universes. We didn't really have much of Aunt May in this at all. So
I feel like I want to give you half a point, and the only reason is because I feel like in the Billionaire Peter Parker reality, Uncle Ben is alive,
Mhm.
and he's
Uncle Ben
like,
for sure knows.
and he for
Obviously.
sure knows,
Oh yeah, everybody knows who
and
Spider-Man
everybody
is.
knows
Yeah,
who
yeah.
he is, and I just assume that Aunt May's alive in that reality,
Yeah, because
but we have no
nailed
proof,
everything right? Yeah.
but I feel like it's a safe
Yeah,
assumption.
I
yeah.
guess by
Half.
transference that makes sense.
So I think for just a safe assumption, we give you half.
Okay.
Okay,
if we're
True.
gonna use
Didn't-
multiverse rules, I guess
didn't think
that
about
makes
that.
sense.
with the transitive property,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's how you use
that's
that
how
equation.
knowledge works.
And then I had that we see a New York landmark, and in one of the universes, Kingpin was set up in the Chrysler Building. So that's a point there.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
I had that Peter Parker is responsible for somebody's death.
Oh,
and
so
then-
many people's deaths.
Well, actually, yeah, you're right
Because
because
the very beginning,
when all of New York is destroyed, it was Peter Parker and
It was crappy
Carnage.
Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like even like I
But
feel like
Peter
the
Parker.
Beyonder or somebody even was like, you could have. Yeah, this is basically your fault.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pinning this on you. All of the guilt. So yeah, for sure, point there.
Yeah.
And then my last one was Wolverine, which
Yeah. No.
a lot of other Marvel superheroes, but no Wolverine, so no point for that.
Couldn't afford Wolverine.
So 2.5.
2.5.
Dang.
Really good. Really good night for all of us. Didn't sway those scoreboards too much.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I know
Guess
what
not.
the scoreboards are. We're too early in the season for me to have even started the tally.
It's fair.
Yeah, so there's that. Well, I mean, I guess in reality, I guess we could all say that if you're into nostalgia, Spider-Man, and possibly Saturday morning cartoons, this TV show's for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all safely say that. Don't be surprised if next week I say, I've been watching Spider-Man on Disney+. But as I put my pen cap on, it is time for us to say adieu, good night, bon voyage, because we're sailing this ship out of the podcast realm. I didn't know where I was going with that. If listeners, you want to do send us show suggestions or just get in contact with us, you can do that at F&L Podcast on the Gmail or on the Twitter. We do, if you send something out, we will definitely watch that show if we have not yet watched it. This is episode 195, so do your research before you hit us up, but we welcome those show suggestions. And it is summer camp for the next 3 weeks. We got 2 more weeks of we got a Jimmy show, we got a Joe show, and then at the end we got a Power Rangers, because First and Last isn't done until Power Rangers is done. That is a mistake we made at the very beginning. But thank you for listening. We'll see you next week for another First and Last. Goodbye.